Congratulations. We'll call the July 15th, 2024 Triton School Board meeting to order. If you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Recognition of visitors, open forum.
I had no requests for anyone to speak this evening.
Okay, Cobra Pride.
Agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. Approve agenda of line item 4.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Dwayne, second by Dale. We will do a roll call vote. Brian is joining us remotely. Dwayne,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Aye.
Brian,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Rebecca. Yes. And me, yes. Number 5, Cobra Pride.
Yeah, it's that time of year where I just like to thank the custodians because they're ahead of schedule. Everything is looking great and it's always a busy time of year for them, but and I felt bad adding those carts that needed to be assembled for the storage that I sent you a picture of the other day, and I honestly didn't expect them to get those done as fast as they did, so that we're really doing well with where we're at. So just wanted to thank all of our summer help and our regular staff.
How many extras do you have for help for summer?
7. You got the kitchen staff, the Johnsons.
Yeah, like
you got
6,
Nessa.
but I'll say it's like 6, but it's some only do certain things, like some will just do painting, so they only come in when there's painting to do. So there's multiple people, but some of them do just very specific things.
We still hire a couple students in the summer.
We only have one this year.
I met in the summer when I was a kid. It was
Yeah.
fun. Couple teachers, I think. Is there a couple teachers?
Yep. Most all are regular staff during the year.
Okay.
So, yeah,
All right. Number 6, approve consent agenda. Motion by Jim, second by Rebecca. Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Dwayne,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Mm.
Brian,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Rebecca. Yes. And me, yes. Number 7, new business. Discuss, approve designating the Dodge Center Messenger as official newspaper for the 2024-2025 fiscal year.
be my recommendation to stick with the messenger.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve 7.1. Second.
Motion by Dale, second by Dwayne. Roll call, Dwayne,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Aye.
Brian,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Rebecca. Yes. And myself, yes. Discuss, approve policy updates.
Yeah, so basically I sent that, I just want to make sure everybody has the link on the board. The Chromebook file that's available with all of the new updated. One of the biggest changes, it's small, but they're no longer calling it the World Best Workforce Report. So many of the, oh shoot, I can't remember the name of it, but there's a new acronym name for the report that we have to do every year. And since they changed the name of that, you have to change every policy that refers to. So that was the majority of the policy changes. But I did share the red line version and the regular version. And if you have any questions on those, let me know. But then next month we can vote to approve those.
All right. So do we,
We don't need to
we
approve.
don't need to approve
Just-
anything this month?
No,
Okay. 7.3, discuss approved resolution relating to election of school board members and calling the school district general election. So we will have 3 open seats this year, correct?
I'll move to. Second.
Motion by Jim, second by Lloyd to approve 7.3. Roll call vote, Dwayne,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Aye.
Brian,
yes,
Jim,
Yes.
Rebecca. Yes. And me, yes. 7.4, discuss approve resolution adopting the Independent School District number 21-25 fiscal year 26 long-term facilities maintenance 10-year plan.
basically just updating it another year.
Mhm. And that was included in our packet, I believe, isn't it?
So move. Second.
Motion by Lloyd, second by Jim to approve 7.4. Roll call vote, Dwayne,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Aye.
Brian,
yes,
Jim,
Yes.
Rebecca. Yes. And myself, yes.
My trend setting.
All right, 7.6, discuss approve renewing food service agreement with Taher.
Yeah, there is a small increase, but with cost of food, it's pretty understandable, but very happy with the service that we get from Taher.
Many years of good service, so, yeah. Good people too. Make a motion to approve 7.5.
I'll second. Motion by Dale, second by Rebecca for 7.5. Roll call vote, Dwayne,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Aye.
Brian,
yes,
Jim,
Yes.
Rebecca. Yes. And myself, yes. 7.6, discuss approve SRO memorandum of agreement for 2024-2025.
Again, this is basically just updating the agreement, and the second half of the year, we would be responsible for the cost. Because the first half of the year is paid by the city. So the city, it runs on a calendar year, January 1 to January 1. This kind of just gets the contract now in line with our school year, year to year. But I think it would be very hard to make a change mid-year.
So, second.
Motion by Dwayne, second by Dale. Roll call vote, Dwayne,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Aye.
Brian,
yes,
Jim,
Abstain.
Rebecca. Yes. And myself, yes. 7.7, Z report.
Okay. Let's see, as we go around the table to begin with, and as we went around, it came up, I think I mentioned before, Casson is gonna start an infant in their daycare. And they're also looking at, in the process of getting their, CNA program started. And the solar is on hold yet, they're waiting to hear. There's a list. Well, maybe, I don't know if you've heard anything either. And
No,
I don't know, they're 8 or 9s down, and when they take them one at a,
Hmm.
whenever they're, get ready to put them online, I guess, or whatever, get going. So they're doing it on their property. It's gonna be on the roof. Yeah. There. But, yeah, it's still waiting to hear. There was a list of 6 hirings, some are new, some are replacements. And I passed that along to Craig.
And what I'll do is I'll scan these and put them in an update tomorrow. I
And
told
then
Lloyd I'd do
with
that.
that, there's a list of the summer program, their summer enrollment programs. And it was 4 different programs and how many kids from all there were involved. We did approve preliminary budget for next year. It is deficit spending a little bit, almost 300,000. Well, we're a little over 200, I guess. Which gets them just a hair over $1 million as a fund balance, and they are comfortable with that. The policy is for 15%. They're gonna be closer to 10. And they may look at changing that policy. They figure they can, I guess. Well, although that money isn't necessarily to be spent on programming, but they do have money from the sale of the buildings for. And there is some projects they're looking at. They're not really saying, but they'd like much, a shed or a garage.
Hmm.
They got a few vehicles now, yeah. So. Well, and there may be some, I guess with all the rain, they may have to change a little bit in the front, the grass. I don't know, there's been a little water issue, I guess. It didn't sound like it's a big deal, but it may, I don't know, they're still trying to figure that out. We are not having a meeting this month. They're gonna
Save the money.
go to the fair, I guess.
Have a meeting at the fair. Have a meeting at the fair.
Yeah. But unless there's questions, I guess, I think that's about it.
All right, 7.8 AD report.
Yeah, Corey asked me to just kind of brief you. He didn't have a whole lot. The big thing is, just wanted to let you know that the Booster Club's working on their system for annual donations and what that looks like and how that works. Activity registrations beginning on 7/22 and the fall eligibility August 6th. And then he had listed just the fall sports that have some different summer opportunities. I know the football team's out in Mankato this year. They left yesterday and will be back tomorrow.
It's a nice warm day today.
Yeah,
Oh, really warm.
it looks like they do have an indoor bubble that they can use, so that's always a plus when you have kind of crazy weather, so.
Do you know what homecoming is?
Mhm.
Yes, you do know.
Yes, and I
Will you
have it,
tell me?
I have it written.
No.
I think it's the first week in October. There's a Monday. And then the rest of the week is October, it's that
Okay.
week,
All right, that's good.
but I can't think of the
That's
dates.
fine. No, I don't need the
I
date.
just know when it is.
Okay, so October 4th. maybe,
Yeah.
If it's the first Friday.
Yep,
Yeah.
so it'd be the 30th to the 4th, so. Coronation and whatnot will be on the 30th, and then the actual game would be on the 4th.
And we do have a volleyball game during the day on that Friday.
Okay.
And I do have, and I can just inform you, I've had multiple requests from Casson to meet with them. I do have a meeting scheduled for Thursday. They want to do a levy for ice time, and I've told them that with us not having a girls program, it doesn't seem right trying to do something
Yeah.
with increasing people's taxes for the
Check this out.
boys and not the girls.
It doesn't seem right.
No,
It's not.
and they keep asking, so I just wanted to update you on that. I'll meet with them and continue to say that if you want us to be a part of all the programs, that would be wonderful, but if you're only gonna have us as part, no.
Saves, cost us some revenues.
Mhm.
7.9 principals reports.
Hello.
Hi.
For the August school board meeting, Mr. Luderman and I would like to bring our handbooks to you for the policy and we get those approved. In the past years, we've done them in July or August, so we're looking at having those ready for you in August for the next school board. We also wanted to shout out our facilities maintenance crew. They're doing a great job. I think in the elementary school, there's just one more hallway, but they're way ahead of schedule, doing a great job. Getting everything looking good for us. The first day of school is gonna be a little bit different for the middle and the high school. Sixth graders will have their first day of school will be just the sixth graders here on that day, along with some web leaders. And the ninth graders will have a day here, and I would assume the crew would be here. those
Yeah,
days also.
this is year 2 of doing that. If you recall from last school year, we went to that change. We had talked about it for a couple of years. I think the number one thing with making that change, obviously for a transition for a student, it's a nice thing, right? It's a, you know, when you're having that conversation with the sixth grader or a freshman the night before, that could be a nervous thing, right? So I think it helps alleviate a little bit of that. And then also what we saw, the attendance. When you try and hold the orientation events, anytime before the first day of school, families are doing stuff. So we treat that as a day of school for our sixth graders and freshmen, and it's gone well, just because it's a little bit non-traditional. We wanted to remind the board that we'll be doing that for the first day of school.
And then the first 2 days of school will once again be meet the teacher days in elementary, where they have their parent teacher conferences. And I think for all 3 buildings, we'll be able to get pictures taken on either the open house nights or the meet the teacher days. So I know the parents like that when they can come and get the hair is all done right and everything like that. Right away.
Monitor the hair, that's
Yeah.
important, right? And then the students don't have an opportunity to change.
Mhm.
When their mom, they put them in a nice shirt, right, for pictures of dad, so. The open house for the middle and high school is gonna be on Wednesday, I'm sorry, Schlick.
Yeah,
did you have
just
something?
one more thing on that the positive feedback that I got, I guess I was pleasantly surprised because I not only got positive feedback from staff, but also students, because one of the things that's different about doing it this way is the students can meet all of their teachers and the staff can actually interact and get to know kids. Whereas normally on a first day of school, they don't have the time or the ability to do that because there's so many other things going on. So that was an unexpected positive that I heard back from both parties, that they really appreciated that calm, smooth transition into starting the school year, where they actually get to know the kids a little bit, and can talk to them and have time to do that. Sorry.
No, that's okay, that's great, it's a great point. So on that day, the students will have an orientation experience for the morning or the afternoon. And then they flip and they run through a schedule, so an abbreviated class day, a school day for them, so they can see all the teachers and can go through their day, as Mr. Schlichting had noted. So the open house, traditionally, we've done this on Thursday, it's going to be on Wednesday this school year, the reason being, that's when they can take our pictures. So the Jostens Picks folks are able to make it in on August 28th, so we figured we'd try and take care of it at that time. Also, there is a home football game here on Thursday. No, it's away. Which is another reason why we wanted to go to Wednesday, because it'd be hard for everybody to get there. After open house, a hiring update, do you have that one, Mr. Abbey?
Yeah, in the elementary school, we have one more hire to make. It's our EBD teacher. Adam Anderson, who was in that role, is gonna slide into a behavioral interventionist role, supporting kindergarten through 8th grade, which opens up a special ed. I have an interview tomorrow afternoon, with a lady that has a license and was in Rochester last year. I'm very hopeful that that goes well. And now, secure up all of our hires. We went through our list this afternoon with Mr. Schlichting. Not as many hires this year as the last couple. I want to say we had about 5, right? And looking back at the list from last year, all of them stayed, except I think there was
There's
one.
just one that didn't.
Which we have had years that we've hired 10 and at the end of the school year, 8 of them are gone, so it's, we're feeling good about where we're at. Attracting and retaining high quality staff.
In terms of staffing for next year, one thing I wanted to make up that's still in flux a little bit are paraprofessionals. We always have some changes with that this time of the school year. Obviously, you need to staff that depending on the needs of your students. So we're meeting as a team this week and we'll go through that and continue the process to make sure we're staffed with paraprofessionals for the upcoming school year.
So when does the elementary's first day?
That Tuesday and Wednesday are the meet the teachers,
Okay.
and then their actual first day of school will be that week, Thursday.
I usually share this, I think in July or August. This is the second year we've officially been part of the cohort. But we have report cards for this for 3 years. So just wanted to share the updates with the board here tonight on how the class of 2024 performed. I sent some documentation to Mr. Schlichting as well, that he can share with you in his update this upcoming week. So this cohort, it's nice because you measure preparedness for college and career, and it's not a one size fits all piece. So there's a number of ways for a student to prove that they're prepared for a career and college. Because let's be honest, every student's career and college experience is going to be unique and different for them. So that's why I like this approach, and we're looking forward to continuing to use it. But I believe the next few slides, we should have some report cards on there. So if you take a look at this, this is the class of 2023. As I stated before, I'll send more stuff out so you can say, okay, what does this mean? It's a lot to get through in one meeting, but I'll summarize it a little bit. So if we start here, attendance rate. So here's the percentage of students in the class of 2023 that attended 90% or above. Okay, so this is for last year's graduating class, and then we'll show you the next year's. So the number of the percentage of students that participated in at least 2 co-curriculars, the industry credential piece, students that had a certification. So the one thing we do here is all of our students leave with a CPR cert. So we do that as part of our senior son class. Community service, we've done that here at Triton for quite some time. It's a large part of what we do. So we're looking forward to tracking that a little more officially. Dual credit, so those are the percentage of students that completed a college course while enrolled here at Triton. Okay, and the next one is the percentage of students that earned a C or better in Algebra 2. And then obviously the GPA, it speaks for itself. That's a big mark for them for being prepared for college, is if you have a GPA above a 2.8. So when you look at this for the class of 2023, the finals for career in college and both are located there. So if you take a picture and memorize all the data, we'll show you the class of 2024. So it's similar in a number of ways, in other ways, not so much. Attendance rate, if you remember before, that was down a little bit for this group. The co-curricular activities, we found out with this year's group of seniors, we didn't have as the same percentage of students participating in activities. A lot of our seniors participated in one, but not more than one. So 47%, the credential one, obviously it stayed the same. That's part of what we do. Pleased to see the increase here with dual credit. So we had increased percentage of students receive college credit here at Triton. Also, the percentage of students that earned a C or better in Algebra 2 improved, and the GPA was fairly close. I believe it was at you go back to 23, I want to say a 61%, 65. So relatively close. The document that you receive as well, we'll have a breakdown of how we've done on ACT scores. Going back to, I believe, 2020. So we'll have that for you as well. You can go to the next slide, Mr. Schlichting. So we'll continue to use the metrics here with our staff as we set goals for improvement. We're still working on a way to do a report card for the elementary school and middle school, but that'll be part of what we do as well. So it's been refreshing to work with this group to measure achievement and preparedness in more way. A GPA is important and test scores are important, but there are more ways to prove that you are prepared for a career or college. So it's been a great approach, and it's helped us really focus on what we need to do as a building. Mr. Schlichting, I know you've been part of this too. Anything you want to add?
So what percent of students do you think actually know what they want to be when they leave here?
Well, they all have to have a plan. Okay,
let's.
so 100% of our students have to have at least this is what I think I want to do right now.
Okay.
Right,
Huh.
but does that change? Absolutely, 100%. And sometimes you learn you don't want to do that by doing that, right? Which is why it's important for us to provide as many career embedded experiences as we can, so they can try things out and have a variety of experiences before they're done here.
One thing that I'd add to that, that question that's changed, that is a good change, another thing that they do with their senior project is a mock interview, and they name a career that they are pretending to interview for, if you will. Just the number, I don't have a percentage but I know just from doing it over the years, the number of kids that actually have an idea of what they think they want to do has increased dramatically, because when we first started doing it, a lot of kids were just like, well, I don't really know, I'm gonna make something up. But this year's group, I was thoroughly impressed with how many of them really felt that the planning that they did helped them get to a point where they felt like they knew what they wanted to do when they were done with school.
At least start.
Yeah, it's a start. And in this year, it was like, for the groups that I sat in on, it was 100%. I've never had that before, so it's encouraging, and
It's an interesting,
growth in the right direction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause I'm just saying for me, myself, I had no idea when
Yeah, we
Okay.
do spend a lot more time with kids on that, and that's been a big,
not
big-
only do we spend more time, I think it starts earlier too.
very much.
So they're
Yeah.
starting those conversations.
Well-
It's an interesting conversation because you want a student to, okay, here are your strengths, here are your talents, and here's the market, right? And present that information to them. That piece is really important. But I'm always cautious with it too, because I don't want a student to feel like they're tied to a certain career path when they're 17 years old. Right? Because they might get out there and decide, you know, I'd like to explore this instead, and that's okay too, but we want them to have a plan to start.
I think it's a little bit easier now with the internet and all that kind of stuff to be able to, back in my day, that's still had the rock and chisel.
Yeah. I don't know if we have anything else
No.
on there. All right, any questions? Thank you, folks.
Is, back to the staff a little bit, is that more or less the same as last year?
And in terms of new staff,
Numbers, just total numbers,
Total number of students or total number of staff?
staff.
I
Well,
guess I'm not
Can we
following
make any
what you're asking.
cuts or?
No,
are we
did
kept
anybody
the same
leave and not
number?
get replaced, is what he's being,
At
right?
elementary school, we'll end up having more paraprofessionals just based
More
on
staff.
needs.
Yes, Lloyd, our staff is smaller. If you recall the last few years, we've been able to make some reductions. You might not see it a lot in the bottom line because obviously you have to adjust for inflation, right? But if you remember, we had a teacher in the fax department who was just on just with us for a 1 year. Okay, so we didn't replace that. Okay, and then this year in business, we had a person that left that we are not replacing. So we have the staff to cover the classes because we're getting a little bit smaller, so some of our other staff have open opportunities in their schedule. So we're still meeting the needs of our students and they're qualified to do so. It doesn't take as much staff to accomplish that. So yes, we have, so that's 2 FTEs there and we need to have the conversation. So that's what we've done so far.
I know that's kind of been an ongoing, thing. As people leave, you just. But I know we hear, well, I'm going back to Zed. Stewartville, environment, they
Big cuts.
laid people off.
And we did that a year ago. More so, that was one of the things that I've talked to other suits about too, because last year we did a lot of cutting, whereas they're doing it this year. I felt like we kind of did it a year before them.
But we kind of did it in a way it didn't,
Correct.
I mean.
Yeah,
Not
it affects a
replacing.
lot.
It was non-replaced, not.
Non-replacing and readjusting and
Yeah.
reassigning
Yeah.
staff. I think last year we had like 5 or 6 staff that ended up in new positions that,
We're able to retain folks. Let's say if somebody left, right, then we'd have a person in a position that we didn't need. Well, would you be interested in doing this? Instead, this fills our needs. So we had would you say 5 or 6?
Yeah.
I looked at the list today because we were going through the workshop stuff for next year. We list out the staff and new roles. And there were a lot of them a year ago.
and this next year we have 1,
Nice.
2, 3.
Correct.
You went for four?
One when we originally, yeah, one when we originally talked about it, and then there were,
Oh, yeah, those, cause those moves were made fairly early in the school year,
yep,
so.
Thank you.
It's important to know that, right? Because obviously with talks on budget and cuts and reductions, it's important that people
And
know
it's not.
the efforts that have been made on the front end to
Well-
balance things.
That's kind of, sometimes when you talk about. I mean, we've been able, it's kind of just transition stuff where it doesn't, the shock doesn't, I mean, sometimes people need a shock to know that,
Yeah,
um,
sometimes they do.
things aren't so rosy, but. I mean, but you hate to do that too.
You know, if we can do it in a way that's
I mean,
fiscally responsible and at the same way, we can still offer
doesn't hurt.
the programming to meet our
Yeah.
students' needs. I hope that's a good thing.
And our staff.
But we've been used to that for a while now, unfortunately.
Long.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
7.10 Superintendent's Report.
Couple things, the flooring in the locker room has really gotten deteriorated over time. And looked into a company that there's actually a local guy that can do the replacement. He's done some work in other schools too. But that would be able to be covered with LTFM, so looked at the finances with that with Amy. We can afford to do one this year and then do another one next year, so we're gonna do the boys because that one's the worst, and then we'll do the girls next year.
What is that one covered with now? Is that the same material we used in the middle school?
No, it's not, actually. The flooring that they did in the locker rooms was more of like a Menards garage floor paint. And it worked, but it doesn't have the longevity with wear, so looking at upgrading that with a better quality product that's professionally installed. We actually did it ourselves in the locker rooms in the past. But I just,
So is that where you take the lockers out and everything?
no, it'll be, the lockers will be able to stay in. It's basically just the floor. Parking lot paint, just wanted to let you know, if you're wondering, the gentleman that's doing it just does it on the side, and we fortunate to get a good bid that we got from him, but he's like, I'll continue to get it done, but it's not gonna be all done in one day. So I've had some people like, are they finished? No. So it's getting there,
But
but
this doesn't have to redo it like the last time.
yeah,
So.
right. And then, as both the principals mentioned, we started working on fall workshop schedule for opening workshop, new teacher workshop. And definitely different than it was a year ago with the new teachers, looking at 5, and one of those is a long-term sub, so feel really good about where we're at with staffing. Any questions for me?
Are you by chance going to the convention?
Hmm?
School board convention? Are you going? Do you plan on going?
Out of the summer.
The summer school board. I forgot when it is. It's the end of 1st of August,
Oh,
first part.
yeah,
I know we haven't in the past. I didn't know. If you had plans to go.
I don't know. There's another conference that I have that next day, so I didn't know if I was gonna do both. I had signed up for the following day because that had the legal stuff, but I didn't sign up for the school board one yet.
Anything else? Okay. 7-Eleven, other. I just wanted to read our summary from Mr. Schlichting's evaluation.
Did you get Jim's?
Yes, I still have Jim's. So it just says on Wednesday, July 10th, 2024, the Triton Schools Board of Education met in closed session to evaluate Superintendent Craig Schlichting for the 2023-24 school year. Board of Education and Superintendent Schlichting had agreed upon the following 2 goals for the 2023-24 school year. communication and community relationships, informs the community as a whole, ethical and inclusive leadership, equity plan implementation. As a board, we unanimously agreed that Superintendent Schlichting has been highly effective in both areas. We thank him for his dedication to providing an equitable learning environment at Triton and commend his efforts to continually provide clear and concise communication with our students, staff, and communities. With the upcoming change in leadership at Triton, the board has asked Superintendent Schlichting to focus his goal for the 2024-25 school year on creating a seamless transition after his retirement. Superintendent Schlichting will work closely with Principal Luke Luderman to involve him in networking opportunities as available and work to identify mentors moving forward. That was all I had. Any other? Okay. Hearing none, do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Dwayne, second by Dale. Upcoming meetings are, we have school board study session on August 14th. And the school board meeting, next school board meeting is August 19th.
Yes, we're gonna vote on
Vote on Wednesday.
No,
I don't think we did.
yeah.